Some people have told me before that size doesn't matter, but our Danish friends at GN Resound definitely think it does. And in their opinion, smaller is always best. Today we're looking hands-on at the very latest technology from Resound, the Nexia. What does this technology hold? Does it live up to the hype that's been surrounding it? We put it through its paces and give you all the info you need to help you find out if this might be the right technology for you. Keep watching for our full review. Hello, my name's Adam. I'm one of the audiologists here at Alto Hearing in the UK. At Alto, we've been using Resound technology for a long time, and there's a few reasons why this Danish brand is used by so many of our clients. Resound are pioneers in technology. Over the last 15 to 20 years, Resound have always been at the forefront of many of the leading developments in hearing aids. I remember a long time ago them bringing out the first open fit hearing aids, the ContactAir, which really led the direction all hearing aid manufacturers went with in years to come. They were the first manufacturer to really get to grips with wireless accessories that didn't require any additional devices, and they were the first manufacturer to bring in made for iPhone hearing aids too. They are innovators, and we really like that, but it's not just the innovation we like, it's also the fact that the technology works really well too. Clients like the sound quality and the usability. I think sometimes with hearing aids, manufacturers can get a bit confused with what they might find interesting or impressive and what end users actually want. It can be a problem in any industry. Ultimately, a good hearing aid is reliable, comfortable, and helps the customer hear in situations where they previously had difficulty, improving the intelligibility of speech and helping to remove unwanted noise. If a piece of technology can do all of those things as part of an audiologist-provided treatment plan that includes the right testing, support, counselling and advice, then we're onto a winner. For the most part, Resound has always ticked these boxes. The latest technology has always been very impressive. Customers have really loved the Resound One and the most recent Resound Omnia. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive about these devices, so we're really interested to see what Resound have up their sleeve this time with the Nexia. Let's find out a bit more what they say it has to offer. And Resound have a couple of standout headlines with the Nexia. It wasn't too long ago that the Mini RIE version of the Omnia was launched, and at the time I remember thinking that this was a great improvement over the previous design. If there was one complaint people had about the original Omnia receiver in the Canal device, it was that the actual hearing aid unit was quite large, and this was definitely addressed with the Mini RIE. So it's probably sooner than expected that Resound are already miniaturizing this to the Micro RIE, which is 16% smaller than the Mini RIE and 25% smaller than the standard RIE. They aren't wrong either. This thing is tiny. It's definitely one of the most petite hearing aids on the market. Now, people might think this is a good thing because it will be less noticeable, and yes, it will be a bit less noticeable, but I don't really think that's the main benefit. To be honest with you, most open fit devices these days, you'll struggle to notice them. The main benefit is that they'll be more comfortable and will fit behind your ears better. They take up less space behind the ears, so sometimes with larger hearing aids, people might struggle if the ears are quite small or if they're wearing glasses. So the reduction in size really helps us ensure that these devices can be fitted to more people. Then we have the addition of Auracast. This is more than just a step forward, it's a leap into the future of hearing aid connectivity. Auracast is based on the revolutionary Bluetooth LE audio standard, a development that's set to change how we experience sound in public and private spaces. Imagine this. You're in a busy airport, a bustling train station, or even enjoying a play in a theatre. Traditionally, these environments pose a significant challenge for hearing aid users, with background noise often overwhelming the sound you want to hear. Now, this is where Auracast comes in. It allows public venues to broadcast audio directly to your hearing aids. You could be sitting anywhere in the theatre and still enjoy crystal clear sound as if you were in the front row. Sounds similar to a loop system and telecoil, right? Wrong. This is much more advanced. Auracast uses advanced broadcasting technology to create an audio stream that your Nexia hearing aids can connect to, much like tuning into a radio station, but with a personal twist. Once your hearing aids are connected to the Auracast broadcast, they receive the audio directly, eliminating interfering noise and ambient noise. And the beauty of Auracast really is its simplicity. There's no need for other devices or complicated setups. It's as easy as selecting the audio source on your hearing aids and you're connected. This seamless integration could be super beneficial for our clients who value ease of use alongside advanced technology. Now we move on to the third new feature. Finally, we have a CROS BICROS system from Resound. This is something I've personally been waiting for a long time, as it's been a big omission in the Resound platform in my opinion. I'm glad they finally decided to address this. Now, a CROS or BICROS is specifically tailored to address the unique challenges faced by those who have unaidable hearing loss in one ear. So they have no hearing at all in one side. What happens is the CROS system transmits sound from the unaidable ear to the hearing aid in the better ear, ensuring that sound is not missed from the side of the unaidable ear. For those with single-sided deafness, this can be an absolute game changer, enhancing spatial awareness and providing a more balanced sound experience. A BICROS is the same type of system, but the ear that is being transmitted to will have hearing loss as well, so there'll be amplification on that side too. So a transmitter working alongside a hearing aid effectively. Where we've used CROS systems in the past, we've had a lot of success. Back in the day, they weren't so popular, as you used to have this wire connecting them at the back of your neck, so they were a bit of a faff. But now it's wireless, they've really seen an uplift in people being prescribed them successfully. So those are the three headline new things that are happening with Nexia. Now, when hearing aids are introduced, sometimes a manufacturer will be launching what looks like a completely new product, when in fact sometimes it's just a minor upgrade. We see that a lot. I guess it's just because the manufacturers feel they need to have this constant product cycle. The only manufacturer who really goes against the grain with this is Widex, who also make great hearing aids but seem to take absolutely ages between products. It's not a good thing or a bad thing, it's just worth pointing out, as just because there's a new hearing aid, it doesn't automatically make your hearing aid currently an out-of-date or legacy product. The chances are, if you've got the previous generation, they're going to be quite similar. So is the Resound Nexia a complete overhaul with a new platform, or is it a minor upgrade on last year's Omnia model? Well, based purely on the specs, I would say it's somewhere in between, but I'd probably lean more towards saying this is an upgrade. It's the same processing chip, it uses the same technology as the Resound Omnia, speech and noise and directionality features the same as the Omnia, but the size being so much smaller and the addition of Auracast are probably a little more than a minor upgrade. They are a big deal. If I had a Resound Omnia currently though, based purely off the specs, I wouldn't be rushing out just yet to get new hearing aids. We love bringing you an insight into what happens at our Audiology clinic. If you enjoy this content, then please do give it a like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. Thanks very much. So setting up was a fairly simple process once I'd remembered to update the software to the latest version. They connected really easily and were found straight away. I'm programming these wirelessly using the Resound SmartFit software and a NoaLink wireless. There's no option to program them using the wires. It's important to make sure that you've got your Bluetooth turned off though if you're taking the Nexias in to be reprogrammed, as otherwise you'll have your audiologist panicking that they are broken. It's only happened a few times. It tends to be on Friday afternoons. Anyway, once we've got them fitted, we have to do a feedback calibration. This is to ensure the hearing aid knows what sound is leaking out and allows it to prevent the hearing aids from whistling. With a mild loss like this that I've programmed the hearing aids to, it's never going to be an issue, but it might prompt the audiologist in the real world to change the domes or the venting. Once we had them connected, we ran a real ear measurement. This is an important part of any hearing aid fitting to ensure the hearing aid is giving you the sound it says it should be and takes into account the various shapes and sizes of different ears. We ran this and then added a few of the different programs, making sure they were comfortable, saved it, and we are on our way. Once I'd done this, I just connected them to my phone. Again, this is a pretty easy process. It just involves following the instructions on the screen. You have to put the hearing aids in the charger, take them out again to put them in pairing mode. Then once it's all paired up, it'll ask you to do it again, which is a bit of a faff, but no issues setting these up whatsoever, which was nice. So I've been wearing the Nexias for 3 days now, and I've been in a variety of situations that have allowed me to get an understanding of how they work. I don't actually have a hearing loss, but I do wear hearing aids a lot, and I always try and test out every new product that we get through the door, as it's really important for us as audiologists to appreciate how the devices behave in the real world and how they sound and how they respond to different environments. So when I first put the Nexias in, I set them to a mild high frequency loss, added the outdoor program, the new hearing noise program, which replaces the front focus program, and the music program. I connected them up to my phone, which was super easy by the way, and off I went. So what have I noticed? First things first, the sound of the Nexias was comfortable. It always takes a little while to get used to wearing hearing aids, and it did take a day or so for them to really settle down and sound more normal for me, but it really helps having the amount of adjustment you have on the app available. There wasn't one situation I got into where I couldn't make it sound comfortable, although I did have to use the app quite a lot to begin with. One thing I would say is the app is a lot better than on the Omnias. I mean, it's exactly the same in most regards, but the connection is a lot more stable with Bluetooth LE. I'm not having to wait around for the hearing aids to say they're connected when I'm opening the app. It's instant and it definitely feels better to use. They are incredibly sensitive devices, and when you first put them in, you will hear stuff that you haven't heard for a while. I was driving home with them and having to check around as I kept hearing rattles in my car and things that didn't normally sound so loud. That's just my brain making me overly aware of the things that I'm not used to, but the Nexias do deal well with background noise, and you can definitely hear the automatic program shift when in different environments, going from walking outdoors in the wind into a sandwich shop for my lunch and then talking to the person who I was ordering my sandwich from. I could hear the changes happening relatively quickly, though this can take a bit of getting used to if you've not had hearing aids that have this degree of automation. The way Resound works in the automatic program is it uses what they call 360 all around, which is how they maintain speech without sacrificing sound all around, and it does work really well. I would say from a first fit perspective, our Resound devices take a bit more habituation for people than something like a Wiredex or an Oticon. I think first fit comfort on those devices has been a bit better in the past, even though the long-term outcomes for all the devices are pretty good. This is something though that's been addressed by Resound, as they now have a specific setting for first-time users, and this really does help make them more comfortable. And add to that the control using the app you have, I really do think these devices hit the mark for first-time users. That being said, if you maybe have someone who doesn't want to use the app or can't use the app for any reason, then it might mean a more solid plan is needed for habituation. I tend to fit hearing aids for the first time really quiet and build up to prescription as time goes on and comfort increases. This is much easier with the app, as it means if you want the device to sound a certain way, you can pretty much get there on your own. Without the app, as an audiologist, I'll definitely need to manage expectations and make sure there's a plan in place to get them up to prescription. Now, the hearing aids themselves don't sound an awful lot different to the Omnias, if I'm really honest, and that makes sense, as in reality there's not a whole lot of difference, which isn't a bad thing. We have a lot of success with the Omnias, but they were comfortable to wear physically, and I had them in a lot of the time and no one noticed I was wearing anything at all. They really are tiny. With music, and the music program in particular, they are good. You need to play around with the settings a bit to get them to sound really good though, and you do have the option in the app to add extra treble or bass, but be mindful if you're wearing open fit then bass is not really an option, but they sound okay. Look, if someone is a musician and needs hearing aids, I find it really hard to recommend anything other than the Widex, but in general the music program is nice to have and it does make music sound better. Charging wise, there was no issues. I was messing around with streaming from my phone and the TV a lot, and I never once heard a low battery warning, even after a day of full use, with me, like I said, messing around a significant amount on the streaming and the app. The premium charger is a handy upgrade, as you can keep it around for a quick charge if you need to, but honestly you should be fine with the normal charger, and I don't think battery life is going to be a problem, same as with the Omnias. The app is responsive on the iPhone. It's a known fact that Android users don't fare quite as well with Omnias as they are made for iPhone. We just tend to experience more connectivity issues with Android. I haven't tested the Nexias with an Android, but on the iPhone it is definitely an improvement in terms of stable connectivity. The app is one of, if not the very best on the market. If you like things simple, you can keep it simple. Often I just triple click the side button on my iPhone to turn it up and down, but if you want to get under the hood and really play around with the Nexias, you have that option too. You can adjust the EQ, reduce background noise, increase speech clarity, adjust the wind noise, and even make your own programs. There's a lot to get into with them. Phone calls are good, and because they're made for iPhone, if you have an Apple device, you don't actually need to have your phone by your face. It makes the phone calls, as the phone will use the hearing aid microphones to pick your voice up. It's nice, and it works well, and people were able to hear me pretty clearly. With previous generations, sometimes people have said I've sounded a bit far away on the phone. Not always, but it kind of depended what environment I was in. With these, I haven't had that issue. But here's what I think is an absolute game changer, and something which has definitely stolen the whole show for me. This TV Streamer 2 with Auracast. It is incredible. If you are getting a pair of Nexias, 100% get one of these with it. I would go as far as saying this is one of the best streaming devices for hearing aids I've ever used. For a start, it's so simple to set up. There's no putting your hearing aids in and out of the case like the old one. It's simply press the button on the back, wait a little while for the hearing aids that are next to it, and it's paired. The size of the thing, as we saw in the unboxing, is tiny. It's really small and compact. I plugged it into my telly in the optical output when I got home. It charges off the USB from the TV itself, so there's no need to plug it into a wall outlet, and the sound, well, the sound is absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to try them with Auracast in public places when it's available, because if this is the quality of the streaming, then hearing aid users are in for an absolute treat. Because the phone app is much more responsive and quicker to use than before, I'm able to switch the TV streamer on really quickly and intuitively and set the device to how I want it. I can have it so the TV sound is supplemented in my ears, so backing up what I can hear from the TV effectively, or I can have it as a pair of headphones, so the sound from the TV is coming into my hearing aids and no one else hears anything. Either way, it works brilliantly. The sound quality is fantastic, as I say, and there's no lag whatsoever. It's just a really brilliant bit of kit. There's nothing really more to say on it. It's got no special bells and whistles. It just does exactly what it's supposed to do in a very effective way. I can't think of anyone who wouldn't benefit from one of these, and I can't wait to try some out with clients. What I really want to know is, when are they going to bring out a multi-mic with Auracast capability? We use the multi-mic a lot for people with high signal to noise ratios or anybody who struggles in background noise. It's incredible. I did ask Resound if it was on the cards, but to be honest, it's like squeezing blood out of a stone. It's not like I'm asking for state secrets or anything, it's just hearing aids, but they weren't giving an inch. So I'm going to hedge my bets and say that they'll probably release it at some point in 2024. So the Nexias, if you're within the fitting range, should you be considering these devices? Well, the short answer is yes, absolutely. I said at the start that these might only be an incremental upgrade to the Omnias, but after using them for a while, how they sound with the Auracast streamer, it's got me excited for the future possibilities. They really are an improvement on the Omnias. The devices themselves cope with very tricky situations, the new speech and noise program works really well, and the annoying things about Omnia, like its occasional slow links with the iPhone, they've all been ironed out. It's a really capable device across all three technology levels, but especially in the Nexia 9 level, where the speech and noise functionality is just brilliant. I would definitely be considering these devices as an option for sure. If you'd like to find out even more about the Nexias, or you would like an assessment and to try some out for yourself, send us an email to hello@altohear.co.uk or give us a call at 01455 372 094 and speak to one of our team. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Your support is always appreciated and it really helps us out. See you soon.